put chains around him and pull him out and get him up on his feet, old Jim. So that saved the day that day. And that was not a good thing to do, because she was jogging hard as she could to get to the bus. I don't know why we told you we were going. That was just a little mean streak we had. Never done that again, I don't think. But I'm not going to say the Lord caused that. That would be ridiculous. But something saved us. Because I never had a whipping. I don't believe my brother had either. So that might have been one day that we got something.
Well, I got a couple more things and then we'll be wrapping it up.
All right.
Early on, you were mentioning about houses being built together and put together by pegs. What exactly does that mean? I'm not quite sure.
That's a big log been hewed out with what they call footheads and stacked on each other, and then they bored a hole to attach them to the other logs in the corner.
Okay.
That was still nails. They used the wooden pegs to hold the logs together. And you saw some look like handmade square nails that they used for putting the weatherboard stuff on. But basically, they were huge logs, very good timber put together in a really good fashion to last. And then when we moved, before we moved there, the house was still covered with shingles. And somewhere or another, Dad found enough money to go to Raleigh and buy tin for the house. And I remember going with him and Mr. Daniel Williams and bringing the tin back to cover the house, which was covered in tin before we moved into it, because the shingles were leaking or getting ready to. And one morning, my dad left the hunt place up here to go down there and work on that house. And he made the mistake of stopping up here with Mr. Miller Goodwins, who had some blackberry wine, I think. And my dad and Mr. Hurley Gardner said, you know, we can't climb today. So they killed the day down there. And I guess by the time he got back home, Mama might have smelled that wine on his breath. I don't know. But he didn't do a thing that day. That was a wasted day. But he needed to be working, because we were going down there into nothing but a weed patch. That place had grown up. Ain't nobody farmed it in 2 years. You can't believe what it looked like. And to carry my sister down there, I mean, it was a terrible looking place. It had a feed barn. And it wasn't nothing there but the house and the feed barn for the horses. And Dad had to build tobacco barns and I don't know what all. I mean, I don't know how we got it all done. But anyway, can you imagine my sister going down into that place after leaving a right decent looking place and all? But Mom and Dad knew that it was a really good farm and that we could make a living on the land, which was the main thing that would support our family. But Hazel was, I was born 29. We went down there in 1937. She was about 15 years old. Can you imagine a girl going down there to that place? And I mean, she said, what in the world did they brought us into? And my brother, and the first thing my brother did when he got down there was strung up a wire on some poles so he could get the radio to going, because he wanted to hear all the football games and stuff. So, you know, we always had a radio, battery radio.
Because you didn't get power and a power radio until what, 40s?
Never had any power down there.
Okay.
We had first power was up here in 1946.
Right.
Just the summer before my dad died in December. Yeah. We had a tenement house up here and one up on the hill. He wired all those houses, minimum wiring for them to have, which they thought, okay, ain't gonna hurt a thing.
Just a glass of water.
Thing made out of plastic. It looked like glass.
Yes, it does.
See, she ain't gonna have glass for me to fall on. I mean, my wife's taking care of me. Anyway, Barb is in there thinking last night I walked down the porch there and I said in a kidding way, "Don't push me off the porch." She said, "Do you think I'm that dumb?" I said, "If I fell off this porch, it would break a hip, and that would probably be the end of me." So I've got Dr. Bush for the knee. I've got Duke Doctor for the heart. I've got the best surgeon in the world at Chapel Hill for melanoma, and I got Dr. Clark for skin center. Oh, I got a fine family doctor down in Broadway. I got a respiratory doctor in Sanford. I'm giving a history. Why am I alive? Because of medical. Because of the ability of the United States to have the best medical stuff in the world, and can we keep it for other people? That's what I worry about today. I've lived the best years a man can live, and can we leave that to the little kids?
Right.
I worry about that. I'm so pessimistic right now. I don't know what to do. I'm worried to death. I think we've got one more shot at keeping this thing good, and so I want to be a part of it, and I want to see it too.
Getting down to a Chatham County level, you mentioned you started knowing what was going on at the age of 4, so that was 83 years ago. What are some of the best things you've seen happen in Chatham County in that 83 years, and what are you hoping will continue to happen in Chatham County?
Well, I'm agricultural oriented, and agriculture has always been the backbone of Chatham County. There's no question about it, and it still plays a tremendous role. But yeah, I've seen a lot of good things happen in the way of. I have to give the leadership of Chatham County a lot of credit for building new schoolhouses and trying to keep the school system, I believe, in the forefront of maybe some counties, and they've been able to do it. I think the schools probably are as good as they get in Chatham. I'm not proud of a new jail, because once we had a little bitty one there that nobody hardly need to go to, and I don't blame them for building a big new jail, don't get me wrong, but that is a foretaste of what we're facing now that we didn't have to years ago. Years ago, my uncle, William Farrell, was one of 3 people that served Chatham County in that capacity. It was Sheriff Andrews, Lacey Johnson, and my uncle William Farrell. That was it back in the late 40s. We just didn't have no crime hardly at all. And so we've gone from that to taking, I guess, about 200 people to keep law and order in this county now from that. I've seen that in my lifetime. And hey, I don't say it's necessary what's going on to have law and order. They got to have that. But that's the downside of what I've seen. I had hopes that I had really hoped that we would be able to progress with more industrial development in this particular part of the county. We've got everything we need, but we haven't been able to some way. We've lost Allied Signal Company down here, which was a different name, and they've tore that building down, a tremendous facility. They tore down the Cape Fear Power Plant. We've lost so much of our industry that was important here in this particular area. And hopefully there's somebody in Raleigh and around are trying to recruit something for this area down here close to everything. We got the highway, we got the railroads, we got the power. I mean, even though they tore down the power plant, they've probably got gas pack facilities there that can provide energy for anything if it's needed. So the best things I've seen in Chatham, I was on in economic development for years. I really enjoyed being on that with Tony Tucker. I had a close relationship with him and felt honored to be on that panel with a lot of good people. from Siler City and around, and Tony died not long after he retired. His heart was bad. I saw him once after he retired over at a restaurant in Fuquay with his family, and he went long after that. Did you ever know Tony Tucker, industrial recruiter?
I think I met him a couple of times because he was still around. I've been here since '86. So.
Yeah. Well, what we've done, we've trained 2 county managers to go to Catering, and Bill Coleman and Ben Shriver have made Catering what it is. And we can take pride in knowing they got their foothold here in Chatham County. So we've had some great leadership here that were attracted to other places that needed them even worse. And I think that's a plus for us, that we've done some things right, there's no question about it. So, and agriculture is going to be an important part of Chatham County forever. I believe that. The new poultry cutting mountaineers coming back to Siler City going to see. We had a horrible thing happen to agriculture when Townsend went bankrupt. We had poultry farmers out there that owed millions of dollars, some of them, and I was afraid they might go down behind the woodshed and kill themselves because they went. Their farms were mortgaged. They lived there all their life, and all of a sudden they don't have anything to go going for them. And I worried about that. But apparently my worry didn't come to fruition. But hopefully now the ones that are young can come back and get a contract and go to growing poultry in those houses probably just as good as they ever were. So that's a plus side too. Somebody's done a good job of getting that to happen. But Siler City probably will bloom again some point in time, but they've really had their problems. And Pittsboro East, Pittsboro should be happy that they will remain the little village that they like, and I like it. I go up there to restaurants in Pittsboro, and I stay in touch with some people like Tom Glendenning and them that are still faithful to attend meetings and keep in tune with what they're doing and what's going on. But I don't go to too many meetings anymore. You get to the point out. But Peyton Hall and the boys running for county commissioner, I could throw a rock to his house. It's right there behind me where I'm sitting. So I told him, I said, Peyton, this is the best opportunity you'll ever get in your life to run right now. Regardless of what happens, you will get to meet people you have never met before. You can lay the groundwork for being a county commissioner in the future if you don't make it this time. And being running as an independent, I don't even understand what the possibilities are.
I don't think it's ever really been done before. I think we had a libertarian run a couple times and got a very small percentage of the vote. I mean, the fact that he's managed to get thousands of people to sign legitimate signatures to qualify. I mean, that's a big hurdle in itself to make, and 3,000 folks in a county election is a sizable percentage of people.
Well, see, I said Mike Cross got beat. I said Mike wants you to run. He wants somebody to take his place because he got defeated. He's motivated to try to rectify being taken out, which makes you energized to rectify what happened to you.
Right. And
I guess he might have seen it coming. And then we got one, Walter Petty. Walter, they called me, they said, who in the world, Young, do you know? I said, there's not but one person I know that's capable of being what you need in this Peyton Hall. And I said, the guy is smart, he's proven, there's no minuses in his character. He can go down into this church and preach on Sunday when Gary needs it, anytime he needs it. I've heard him do funerals for his family. So he can do anything need to be done. He's already on one little board, I think it's like appeal panel or something like that for taxes and so forth. But this is the groundwork he can lay, and go from there.
Right.
Only thing I worried about, can you still do the job he had to do and give it the time? But so far, it looks like it's working for him. And you know, his wife right here behind me too, and his family runs, the Millers run the garden center there, and the pet supply store is theirs.
Okay.
So he's connected with some good people, and they run some good, strong agricultural business type oriented businesses. So anyway, I'm proud of him, and I'm proud of his brother too, who's a logger with a good company too, and his dad's still living. His dad grew up, I felt like family to all of his family, because we farmed together for years when I was young. But you asked me what are the good things I see about Chatham County? It's diversified. We got strong agriculture. We should have actually places like Governor's Club and all these other developments. They'll more than pay their way as far as taxation, because they're high salaried people living in them. And we just saw, I believe yesterday or the day before, where Mr. Goodnight's cohort.
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith said they're taking over 400 more acres to develop.
All right.
And just now, the joy of my life just showed up here.
Why don't you come in and sit next to him, because we're getting ready to wrap this up.